My name is Jake, and this is my aha moment. I grew up just loving history, and when all the other kids in the class, would roll their eyes, I was like, yes, I'm ready. So I always have loved history. I was laying in bed, having trouble falling asleep, and what I do a lot of times, if I have that, I think back to certain things. It may be something I did that day, and I just try to imagine myself going through that process, and it usually just lulls me right to sleep. Well, the night I had this aha moment, I was laying in bed and I was thinking to myself, what if when I fell asleep, I went back in time, And so I just started kind of playing that around in my mind, and as I was doing that, it wasn't helping me fall asleep. So I kind of nudged my wife, and I said, you know what? I said, what would be neat? I said, what if every night when someone went to bed, instead of going to sleep, they went back in time? And I said, it would be a great way to teach kids. I said, you could make a kid make a character fall asleep, and they could meet characters, historical characters from the past. And I said, I wish somebody'd write that book. And she goes, well, you ought to write that book. And I laughed at her and dismissed the idea and went to sleep. And the next morning, it was still in my mind, so I woke up and decided to have a go at it, and I wrote the book. Sometimes when you're challenged, pick up that challenge and try to run with it, and you may find success.